Welcome to the High Rankings podcast, brought to you by Dispensary-Growth, the preeminent SEO agency for dispensaries. Each episode will dive into the world of search engine optimization for cannabis dispensaries. We'll discuss the latest strategies and tactics to help your dispensary rank higher on search engines and attract more patients and customers. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, join us as we explore how to maximize your online presence and stay ahead of the competition in the rapidly growing cannabis industry.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are on episode 79 of the High Rankings podcast with me and him.
This guy.
So
What's going on in your world? Yes.
I'm looking at a hurricane. And I'm not even trying to make light of it because I know we just recorded an episode and we were talking about how bad things were. The only thing I would say positive about this hurricane is that it will not be affecting Georgia or the Carolinas or Tennessee. It will be a Florida hurricane. So for those that are undertaking the relief efforts in those states, thankfully, those people will be safe. However, Florida is not looking so lucky, particularly where I live. It's not looking so lucky. Depending on where this storm makes landfall will depend on how bad it will be. The storm surge is looking awful currently. It went from a Cat 3 to a Cat 5 just today, so that's great. And we're always taught that you hide from the wind and you run from the water, basically. So anybody who basically was affected by Helene, who is still in their homes, I believe all of them are or should be evacuating. All of the roads are looking like parking lots right now because people are trying to get out of the state. Where my house is, we have always been relatively lucky. We're not in any danger of flooding because of where our house is. Everywhere around us is in danger of flooding, but we obviously have supplies and a generator and all that kind of stuff. I think we're going to board up some windows. My husband originally was going to work tomorrow, but literally everything is either closing early today or will be closed and not open tomorrow. So he's not going to work tomorrow. So he'll be boarding up our house and anybody else's house, friends and family that need it. So yeah, I do have to say that this particular hurricane has me very nervous, particularly because of the path that it's looking at. Yeah, this one's got me feeling all kinds of things. Don't really know. It's not like, oh, we're all going to perish, but it's definitely got me feeling unnerved. So best you can do in these situations is prepare. We are pretty prepared as I think we can be. And obviously all of my husband's family pretty much live really locally. The ones that live in this area live really locally within like 5 minutes. So we'll be able to check on them if need be. One of my dearest friends in the world, her mom, she's like 80, so she's going to come and stay with us and hunker down here because she lives in a mobile home, and that's just an absolute no-go in a Cat 5. So it just feels like it's eerie. The only way I can explain this is that it's a very eerie feeling, like you're just waiting for the disaster to hit, if that makes sense. And I'm not, I mean, we've been doing this podcast for a long time. You and I have been friends for 10 plus years. I'm not one of those people that panics for hurricanes. I'm not one of those people that gets dramatic about it. But there's something, I said it at the beginning of the season, and I said it on this podcast. The beginning of the season, I was feeling a certain way, and there was no explanation as to why I felt that way. I just did. And I kind of have that same feeling now. And maybe it's because of the remnants of Helene and seeing the devastation that Helene brought, not just to our state, but obviously others. So yeah, I don't feel great about it. And also I have friends of mine who are out of state. They always check up on me. But one of my friends, he's like the Forrest Gump of jobs. So he was a canine handler for a long time and is still kind of like part-time police. It's weird how it works up there, but part-time police. He's a full-time firefighter and EMT, and he also is in the Army National Reserve. I'm not sure which one's which. I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody. I don't mean to. I just don't know which one's which. But or even if there's a difference. But he was messaging me. He's like, you guys can come up here. You know, him and his wife live really close to other good friends of mine. And then he said, this is what got me. He said, I'm off next week. If you guys get in a bind, I will come down there. And I thought, okay. All right. That's not. Yeah. Okay. First time he's ever said that. And then the Trop, so Tropicana Field, which is where the Rays play, they are using that for National Guard members who have been deployed, if that's the right word, to basically help out once the storm hits. the field is covered in cots for all of these members to sleep on if they get any sleep at all during the recovery and relief efforts. It's filled. You can go look at images and it is filled with cots where ordinarily you would be seeing baseball players play. It's very weird and very eerie. So one way or the other, this is not going to be a good storm. So that's the update from Florida currently. And as we're recording this, we don't normally put recording dates on, but I am going to just for this one. We are recording this on Monday, the 7th of October. Typically, we like to do our recordings on Tuesdays, but I had asked if we could pull this one forward because obviously tomorrow I think is going to be a prep day. So just so you guys know that we are recording this on Monday, the 7th of October. And that is the latest update as of about 3 o'clock.
How are the animals, the dogs?
The dogs are fine. They don't really mind about rain. One of my dogs really, really doesn't like thunder. And typically, it hasn't been super like thundery. However, the noise of the strong wind probably would upset her. The other dog doesn't really care about much. The biggest issue when you have pets is that, well, dogs particularly, is getting them out to pee because rain. And one of my dogs is an absolute diva and does not like getting wet. But they're okay. I have got them. I get these like Himalayan cheese chew things for them. So I've got some new ones coming today, I think, from Amazon, so that if it does get really gnarly, I can give them the cheese chews and it should distract them for a little bit. The cats will be fine. They'll hunker down inside. They're fine. They're inside cats anyway. So they're fine. The kids are out of school. I figured the schools would be closing like early tomorrow, or they'd be closing tomorrow, Wednesday, probably Thursday. And they actually closed down today. So there was no school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I highly doubt there'll be school Thursday. And I was like, man, that seems like a really long time. But my friend whose mom is coming to stay, she's a teacher. And she said the reason that they opened them so early was there were so many people displaced from Helene that they needed even more shelters than they ordinarily would, because there's so many people displaced from Helene. Plus people are learning the lesson of storm surge. So more people are leaving their homes. So they shut down early so they could get the schools prepped and opened in order to facilitate all of these people that will be seeking some kind of refuge.
Ooh, man, wild stuff. Okay, getting away from that, any TV shows you guys are going to binge, or movies or books?
That's assuming I have power.
Yeah.
Well, Monday Night Football's on tonight, and I've sort of slowly been getting back into that. I do have my Kindle fully charged, and I have a bunch of books on it. I don't really know what I've got on there. Oh, I've got probably a bunch of thrillers because it's October and October is thriller month. Yeah, I've got a bunch of thrillers on here. So I do have those on there. As long as we have power, I'm going to keep the weather on just so that we're aware of what's happening. Probably. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing that I think I'm going to binge watch. I don't know. One of our kids has gotten into Marvel lately. And so we have the Disney subscription. So she's been watching Daredevil.
Yeah.
So she'll probably just binge that.
I've heard that's good.
Yeah, it was good. I've seen some of it.
I've heard that. So I've not watched all of The Office, the US version.
Oh, yeah.
Beginning into that, the WeWork show is on, I think it's on Apple TV. I thought that was pretty good. That dude, Jared Leto, looks just like the founder of WeWork. I thought like his mannerisms and everything, like just like him. His hair, and what else would I see? Marvel's pretty cool. Obviously, Deadpool's streaming now, the latest one, the third one. So that was good.
Yeah, it's streaming, but you still got to pay like $30 for it.
Oh, do you? Oh, I didn't know that. I assume so, I am. Also, my weekend, as we record on Monday, like you said, celebrated the birthday with the fam. Had a cool lunch. Went to church with them. And so the hockey guys are texting me to get back out there. They're like, oh, quit being soft. They're not saying it like that, a little more aggressive. But yeah, I'm looking to get back out there. My hand is still effed. Turns out the bone in my hand is still broken.
Imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. Weird, huh? One of the smallest hands, or no, pardon me, it's the bone that gets the least amount of blood flow in your hand doesn't heal in like 2 weeks. Yeah, that's still annoying. Still broken. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I can't catch a puck anyway, so it doesn't matter. But that's my hand that I catch pucks with, the goalie glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, my glove goes on that hand. So it's like when you cover the puck, I can't do a push-up. So when you cover a puck on the ice, you have that same kind of motion. So pushing down like irritates it, upsets it. So anyway, that's still broken. Yeah, planning a trip for Christmas, and
Where you going?
yeah, getting ready for New Year's. So girlfriend's fam, her sister is in Vancouver.
Oh, I like Canada.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I really like Canada.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
Nice and crispy there.
you know, and your girlfriend likes me, and I like your girlfriend, so
Yeah, she is pretty awesome.
yeah,
Anyway,
so just saying.
well, you never leave Florida, so
Also, for anybody who was listening to the last episode we did and is curious as to what my gift for Charlie was, because we talked about there being a lazy version and a not so lazy version.
efficient.
So the gift was I bought Charlie a Nespresso machine. I was deciding between a Nespresso machine, which you just put a pod in it and press a button, or an actual espresso machine like I have at my house, but realized that an espresso machine would require work, because you got to pack your coffee into the thing. And then when it's done brewing, you've got to tap all the coffee out and clean it. And I was like, no. My husband was like, get him an espresso machine. And I said, I just don't think he's going to, if he has to do any work, he's not going to use it. And so I got him an espresso machine. And as I thought, I did pick the right option. The right one of the two options, I picked the right one.
Yes, less friction, the better is a badass machine. Even like taking apart the box and like opening it. It's like, damn, this thing.
Yeah, when we were opening it on the camera, and I was like, that thing's pretty sweet.
Yeah, badass machine. I've yet to fire it up. So my morning routine is I get up like way too early. I woke up this morning. I've been sleeping on the couch. I'm an insomniac, so I don't know why, but the couch is pretty comfortable and it's like right by my balcony. So I woke up to somebody at like 5:30, like coughing up their kidney or something. I don't know, on the balcony.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah. So then I hopped on my bike and just buzzed around, I don't know, a couple miles, whatever. And then I usually slam coffee, but I've been trying to get away from that the past few days. But tomorrow, I'm for sure going to fire that thing up because that thing looks badass. There's like the little cup tray.
Yeah, but did you get pods yet or no?
Yeah, so I have pods.
Oh, okay.
And I have to choose my perfect cup. Now, my mug. Actually, I do have some from Thailand when I went. That's a good idea. I think I'll use that. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's a badass machine. Thanks again. And I prefer less friction, to be clear.
Friction, that's the word you're going with, not lazy.
Efficient. Strive for efficiency. Yeah, that was about it. A little bit of work stuff. Yeah, mainly saw the fam. It's good to see them. And yeah, the trip to Vancouver. That'll be pretty cool. I think it's 2.5 hours from Denver.
I can't wait because I've got a lot of sweaters, like a lot.
Why do you have sweaters in Florida?
Listen, first of all, I have way too many hoodies, right? More hoodies than a person in Florida could possibly need or should have. But then, because obviously I've lost a bunch of weight in the last like year and a half or whatever. So now I'm like discovering new places to shop, and these new places all have these really cute, cozy sweaters. And so it's been problematic. That's the word. Problematic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vancouver should be pretty cool, especially in December. That'd be pretty cool. And yeah, perfect hoodie weather. My girlfriend was saying it's cooled down in Vancouver the past couple of years, but that'll be fun. So yeah.
I mean, I have Ugg boots. I have Ugg slippers. I have leggings. I have jeans. I have joggers. I have sweaters. I have hoodies. I have jackets. I have hats. Yeah.
I do have some Ugg slippers, men's, and they're pretty fire, actually. Not gonna lie.
Also, how cool is it that me and your niece have the same shoes?
Oh yeah. Yeah, she saw that. Or no, she walked in and I saw her like, oh my gosh, wait, what kind of shoes are those? I was like, oh, okay, I know Kaz has those shoes, but they're like 4 sizes smaller than yours.
That's not true. Her feet look right around the same size as mine.
No. I was like, wait a minute. She like lifts up her legs, like, let me take a picture of these, and I sent it. It's like she started laughing. It's like, oh, okay, all right, they have similar taste. They are pretty cool shoes. I think,
and it's so funny. It's so funny because literally they are legging shoes. I don't really know how to explain it, but like that's what you would wear those shoes with. You probably wouldn't wear them with anything other than leggings.
When I was looking at some New Balance, I was thinking to myself, all I'm gonna wear, I can't really wear these with jeans. I think I just wear them with joggers. Like when I go play hockey, or can't really wear joggers.
Exactly. Certain shoes require a certain pant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those just happen to be leggings, sneakers. Mm-hmm. And then when you send me the picture and she's got black leggings, I was like, that's my girl. Like, that's exactly how I would style them.
Yeah, she kind of laughed. And yeah, that's pretty much the weekend for me.
All right. Well, now we've caught up on our fantastical lives. We're going to get on with this podcast, mostly because I have to do stuff. So, yeah. So, anyway, this podcast, we are on episode 2 of the essential tools for dispensary SEO. So, we already did part 1. And in part 1, we basically did like a brief overview of Semrush and what it is. And then we talked about keyword research and how to do it on Semrush and how useful and amazing Semrush is for keyword research. And then we closed out the episode talking about how to do competitor analysis. Semrush has some really great tools in order to be able to help you do some competitor analysis. So that was part 1. And then in today's episode, we're going to go over the Semrush SEO share of voice tool. We're going to talk about on-page SEO optimization, backlink analysis, and then tracking and reporting. So I'm going to be very honest. I mean, I always am, but like, I'm going to tell you that I'm stupid. Or in the words of Charles Leclerc, I am so dumb. What is SEO share of voice tool? Like, legit don't have a clue. And I'm not even fronting. I have no idea what it is.
We've talked about it before. It's, those grids, those like city grids, and they have like the before is like a bunch of red dots around a specific location.
You just showed me this with a client like last week.
Yeah, well, we've seen it like months.
Oh, that's what it is.
Years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I just didn't know the name of it.
So sometimes it's that visualized. Sometimes you can see like a slice of a pie, like slice of a pizza kind of thing. There's like your slices. Your voice is 30% or 40% or whatever. The one that we're used to, we've always used a tool called Local Falcon. Well, we've used two, Local Falcon and Write Local. So, for example, you can pull up a dispensary in Denver. You can plug in that location and you can say, okay, share a voice for the word dispensary near me. And then it'll show you like panning out how many miles does that dispensary have? What's the footprint in that area for dispensary near me? Denver dispensary, whatever it is. It goes by 3 miles. So you can do 3 miles. I think we do 9 miles or it might be 12, but let's just say 9 miles. And what's the current status now? And then after optimizations, how much has that gotten you in terms of local market share?
Okay. All right. So I just did not know the name of it, but I did know what it was.
We've looked actually quite a lot, but that's what it is. It's the red dots, which are bad. And you want the green dots, which tells you you've got a solid footprint in your community.
So it's basically a tool saying like within X number of miles of the market share, you have this piece of the pie. Your piece of pie is this big, or your piece of pie is this big, and your competitors are this big, and this big type situation.
Yeah. Like a very bird's eye view of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So then you can say like, I want to rank for a Denver dispensary, and then you can go to like your city page and optimize it. And then you can look at your competitors. What are they doing? Look at your competitor analysis, how they're doing it. I would start with the city page that ties in your GMB, and then look at your menu pages, making sure those are all unique and optimized and going there. And then you can go to like your backlink profile and then your domain authority.
So in order to obtain the data, is it similar to the keyword gap where you would type in your specific URL and then you would type in competitor's URL, or do you not need that? Like, does it figure it out itself, or you have to put the competitors in?
So go into position tracking and then fire up your campaign, get going with keywords that you want to make up in the market that you are targeting. Dispensary near me, where to buy weed, weed dispensary, best dispensary near me, those target keywords, local keywords.
Yeah.
And then once Semrush collects the data, you can look at your slice of the pie in terms of market share and visibility percentage, traffic, and then average position. And then you can flip between metrics to see how it differs as well. So, and then as important, you can look at your competitors. You have to benchmark, right? Before and after kind of thing. And then keep all that. So you can do like different keywords. I think you can do up to 10. We can do more, I guess. Have 10, keep them local. And we've seen them before too, where you do like branded searches. So like dispensary XYZ in Denver, for example. But that's not that effective because that customer already knows about you. You want the golden keyword, which is dispensary near me. So have that as keyword number 1 and optimize your city pages first. Proper website hierarchy, state page. And then the child page should be the city. And then go after your local citations, optimize your GMB, and then that's how you.
And that's actually a really, really good tool for being able to show clients how much of their competition's organic key traffic they're kind of taking. Because I
Yeah.
know we've had a couple of clients who literally they're just like, I want to take them down, you
Yeah.
know?
I want to destroy
And
them.
yeah, I
Yeah.
want to destroy them. Which always cracks me up, but I love to hear it. But yeah, so being able to like visually show them, like, you know, in the previous 30 days, this was how much traffic or, you know, you had, or how much of the pie you had. But in this
Mhm.
last 30 days, the slice of your pie has gotten bigger and theirs has gotten smaller.
Right. That's
I
what you
think
want.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
That tug of war game.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really like good visually to be able to show them that. So that's great. All right. So next one we're going to move on to is we're going to talk about the on-page SEO checker, which again is not something I've used. We did discuss this in part 1 that I am far more knowledgeable about keyword research because that's my jam rather than a lot of the tools Semrush, whereas Charlie's definitely more proficient in more of the tools than I am. But at least from what I understand, it's basically a tool to be able to enable you and show you where you can optimize your website and give you maybe some ideas that you haven't had yet, whether it's content or tagging or some kind of like technical aspect. It seems a little bit kind of like an audit. I mean, I guess it is an audit, right? Of some kind. Probably not as great as like Screaming Frog, but it seems like it's a tool for auditing your website.
Yeah, like, and you should have an internal SOP on how to fire a page as it is, right? Like have the title tag say this, have a meta description, you know, under 160 characters, include the target keywords. Don't use weed and weed redundantly in H, use marijuana and weed. Your H1 should say this. The hierarchy of the page should be a certain way. 1 H1, cascading H2s, maybe H3 as a subheader for an H2, but have that SOP like checklist, I guess. But this will give you ideas on like, let's just say you have a blog. Are you targeting the right keywords? It's not like an end all be all. Again, it's ideas. And I think Semrush even calls it ideas. Is used title tag is used. Internal links point to certain pages that are contextually relevant, and it spits all of this out for you. So it says like green check, green check, green check, and maybe like look into this. So there's like no keyword cannibalization, et cetera, et cetera. So let's see, SERP features based on top 10 rankings, rivals. If there's hyperability that may appear in a featured snippet, we'll tell you how to improve that. And that's basically what it is. If you have your page set up, you're a template for your new pages coming out. Basically what I just said, like your H1 should include your target keyword. Subsequent H2s should be ancillary keywords from your inventory, title tag, meta, and you can have like a plugin too that definitely helps you. These are just like, I mean, they help, but it's all in all it's kind of doing the same thing just to make sure that there's no oversight on this. So I like it. I mean, we've been doing it for so long and our analysts and everything, and our SOPs are pretty tight. So it's like, it rarely is there ever an issue that pops up, but if there's any kind of oversight, this would catch it. I hope that explains what it is.
No,
So
it
really,
does.
like, yeah, under the on page, like, yeah, you can do a checker and then you can have like times that it spits out ideas at you. And yeah, and it's good just to get an AI opinion. Yeah, I mean, definitely take a look at it. See what you can do.
Cool. On Semrush, it is called the on-page SEO checker, and you can find it under the on-page and tech SEO part of that menu on the left-hand side, if you were looking for it. So that's there. Okay, so there's a backlink analytics tool, which you can find under the link building part of that menu on the left. And I haven't used it, but in order to show you how great Semrush is, I'm going to tell you how I think it works, because it looks like it's pretty like obvious. So you would type in your domain into the box at the top and hit analyze, and then it's going to work its magic through your domain, and then it's going to tell you like how many backlinks you have, whether they're quality backlinks or not. I'm assuming, would it tell you if they were any of them like just didn't work anymore, if they were broken?
Yeah, if they're toxic, you have to disavow any, like take them out kind of thing. No, it's a good tool. And the backlinks is also, kind of sidebar, one of the biggest factors to your domain authority.
Sure.
I'd say that's probably the biggest one, actually, and then content.
So that is to say, if you had a bunch of like backlinks on there that were not like a good quality level of backlinks, would that bring your authority score, your domain authority score down lower than if you didn't have them at all?
Yeah, especially with this latest update, you want quality, not quantity. So you can have a bunch of turd backlinks and it's not going to move the needle.
Right. Yeah.
And
so
then,
it's really important to watch that quality then.
Right. Have good, solid local citations first, like local listings, and then you can go after kind of bigger like outreach campaigns with local writers, maybe local newspapers, and just kind of work your way up. But yeah, just go after quality backlink acquisition and not so much like the shotgun approach. And they should be in your niche as well, because they'll tell you, like, if you're outside of your profile, there's like a little authority score on the back end of Semrush. It'll tell you, like, it'll start to compound over time. And if they're toxic, this will grab it. On this audit, you should have it I think we do it 2-3 times a week, but at least twice a week on here, because as your traffic grows, you will naturally, well, it takes a while, you organically get backlinks. And then from there, you just have to keep an eye on them.
Right. That makes sense. All right. And then lastly, we're going to talk about position tracking. And I do want to say we've covered like the majority of like the bigger tools on Semrush, but there is more for you to explore. So, feel free to jump into Semrush and check it out for yourself, because there is other stuff that we have not gone over in the two podcasts. But the last one we're going to talk about is called position tracking. And again, it's a tool. You can find it on the left-hand side on that menu under keyword research. It is called position tracking.
And so I'm on there right now. You can fire it up. We use a couple different tools on here, but I'm firing up a city here. And then you put in the full business name and it takes you to another screen. And then you can track, as the name suggests, you can track exactly how it's doing. You have your magnifying glass on that specific listing. So if it's just one location, cool. If you have 30, plug all of those in right there. So you have the specific name of the business and you say the city. And then you plug in the keywords that you want. So I'm going to do one right now, dispensary. That's a golden keyword, near me. And you add it to the campaign. It's waiting to start. We're going to start tracking. Okay. So in Denver, Colorado, this business name, track the keyword dispensary near me. And then it's firing up, gathering keywords. And then that will tell me over time how it's doing, especially now, like holidays coming up. That golden keyword gets very, very valuable. So I would look into this every other day and see what you can do with internal linking, more content, obviously quality backlinks to your city pages. Those city pages are basically your salesmen. So keep them happy, update them regularly with good content, quality backlinks, and you should be good.
Well, all right then. I think that pretty much sums up a dive into Semrush. If there's anything that we haven't covered that you're unfamiliar with and you want some help with, feel free to reach out. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. We're also on Apple Music. That's what it's called, right? Yeah, Apple Music. I don't use it. I use Spotify. So that's what I was like. So you can find us on all of those things. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. I mean, and I am an Apple person. I just think Spotify is better. And maybe, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I've also been using Spotify for a really long time. So I feel like my algorithm just gets me, It just, once in a while, it will throw something out. Like, do you ever listen to the DJ on Spotify?
No.
So you could hit DJ and it'll play like, 3 or 4 songs, and then it'll break it at 3 or 4 songs, and he'll be like, okay, let's start off with some stuff you've been listening to lately. And it's literally shit I've never heard. I've never heard the song, never heard the musician or the band, like no idea. But hey, let's kick this off with some things you've been listening to lately. So I don't know where it gets its stuff. But
yeah, I've been doing Apple Music, but I need to try some other stuff. Anyway,
those are the places you can find us. I'm not going to do a Vex this week for obvious reasons. I can't be petty when we're dealing with what we're dealing with. So it will be back. It's just not right. Well, let's see how we all fare this week.
Okay, I was going to say, I can't hold my breath that long.
Okay, what's vexing me this week is hurricanes. And I don't really need to expand on that. It's hurricanes. But it will be back. It's just right now, it's just not the time. There's a lot of devastation and a lot of heartache. And I just don't feel like me being petty on a podcast is really the right time. But will become a time when it is, and I'll be back to making fun of Charlie and making fun of myself by telling you what minor inconvenience is annoying me this week. Anyway, we will see you all on the flip side. If I've got any Florida listeners, which I think we do, just, follow whatever you're being told and stay safe.
Yeah, be safe.
Yeah, everybody be safe. So many people are evacuating. So I really hope that's going to make a big difference. That's it. That's all we got. Please comment, like, subscribe, follow, review. I think that covers it. And you'll be hearing from us in a week from now. And until then, stay safe and we'll speak to you soon.
Peace.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the High Rankings Podcast, brought to you by Dispensary-Growth, the preeminent SEO agency for dispensaries. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you found value in the insight and the tips we shared. If you did, please hit that subscribe button. And if you're feeling super generous, we would love it if you left us a review. If there's a specific topic you'd like us to cover in a future episode, or if you have any questions, you can go ahead and find us on LinkedIn or YouTube. We'll see you next time.